Hey, in this video, I'm going to show you how to buy a website as a complete beginner. When we start assessing a digital asset, such as websites, it can be overwhelming. This video will show you the thinking process, how to do it the right way. This is a live coaching video I did with Daniel Kalela. I invited him to join me. He's a complete beginner, and before we spoke, he gave me a few criterions to which kind of websites, digital assets, he is looking for. And then we took it from there. My name is Shlomo Freund, and my channel is giving you passive income ideas by buying websites and other digital assets. I publish a video once a week of an interesting deal that I see. I show you the good things, the bad things about that deal, growth potential, things you can do, easy wins, and also pitfalls. There are a lot of things to look at when you're looking at a new deal. I've learned that through looking at thousands of those listings. It can be overwhelming at the beginning, as I mentioned. I'm here to help you to buy your next digital asset. Also, make sure you stick with me all the way to the end of this video, because I'm going to share with you a tip, which is how to spot a red flag on a revenue graph on Flippa. It's a tiny thing that can help you a lot in the negotiation process. Let's jump in. Hello everyone, and welcome to another listing review. And this time I have Daniel Kalela. I know Daniel from Richard's Patties community, and the interesting thing is that Daniel has no experience with looking at listing, and I thought it will be an interesting process to go through, seeing how somebody who's not experienced, and then get them to kind of a mini coaching session and showing them how to see a listing properly. So we prepared one listing, which we both did not look at the details, and then another one as a backup if the first one will be really bad. As Daniel put it when we started, was I got scared when started looking at listings, and was hard to evaluate those. Is that right?
That is correct.
And also his criterion for finding one was around $3,000 in price. He thought that going for lower than that looked too scammy on Flippa. We're looking at Flippa Marketplace. 3,000-ish seems legit. So that's it. How do you feel about that?
That feels great. Let's do it.
Okay, let's do that. We have some delay in the line, but we'll get over it. Let me share my screen and we'll do that. Okay, so we have the Flippa Marketplace. Flippa has all kinds of businesses and websites to buy. We went on filtering for businesses that cost between $3,000 and $5,000. This is here, and we marked SaaS, and that's it, just SaaS. Okay, we're doing just SaaS. We had one other before, which I can't find right now. Oh, sorry, was this? Website and online businesses and SaaS. That's the asset type. And this is what came in. We have 40 results over here. See, 14 listing matching SaaS. And we chose this one, estate mailer. Is that okay?
Yeah, that is okay.
Okay, so first thing, now that we went through the filtering, what made you say, I want to look at that listing, even before we jumped into the listing itself in the search?
Just really quickly, it has a bit of net profit per month. That's something that kind of stands out to me, that makes me want to look at it.
Okay, so this part, net profit, made you say, that's interesting. Okay. Anything related to the real estate, or are you interested in that? Is this related to what you do in life?
I have been looking to get into real estate for a little bit as well. Mainly it's just the fact that it's something that is established and is turning a profit.
Okay. So there is somewhat interest in real estate in general. Okay, so let's jump in with this one. estatemailer.com. Since I'm sharing my screen, just feel free to let me know when you want to scroll down
and what just go with the flow. What's on your mind right now when you're looking at those? What's good things, red flags, growth potential, maybe? Your thoughts?
Okay. So right off the bat, making $650 per month, we're only requiring 1 hour per week of commitment. That seems a little suspect. It seems a little crazy because they always say, oh, it's one hour a week or no time commitment or something like that. So that's always a little bit of a red flag. One red flag. Another one for me is you say up there in the little title that it's $650, but then it's the monthly profit is $480 per month. What, half a page down right there. So that,
It's fun.
just look at it, those numbers don't match. So
Yeah,
that's something right there where you're telling me a profit margin of 100%. Well, then why don't those numbers match? I'm sure there's a website hosting fee. The page views may be correct, but there's something there that's not really adding up. And
Right.
so hopefully they can provide more information on that.
Okay. One point about this is that it can be that here they're talking about revenue and here they're talking about profit, but then the profit margin would not make sense. So really something doesn't add up. But it could be that this is the reason
Right.
for the difference. Yeah, go ahead.
Right. So, the rest of that looks fine, but it's all about, verifying it. I know on the right, you can check about the seller. It would be in the best interest to see, I guess, once we're done looking at this listing, diving into who they are or how many sales they have or what kind of activity they have after we look at this listing.
Look,
Okay. So you can see they've been around since 2020 on this website. 23
Wow.
transactions and
I heard 20,
Yeah.
sorry.
feedback, which is pretty good. So that kind of
See
all,
that? Oh yeah, here.
that all seems pretty good.
Okay.
So
Back to the list.
yes, sir.
Okay.
So we see the performance overview, a quick $480 per month. Page views coming in at 3,000, let's say 31,000 per month, roughly. Again, what is it? The site has been up for 5 months. It seems, for me, I'm wondering how they're bringing the traffic to the site. And I'm wondering how they started, I guess. So the revenue started after January, but they've had people out on the site for what looks like before January, if we're looking at these graphs and if these graphs are correct.
So just so you know, revenue numbers on Flippa are manually entered. And as you can see, it's fixed here, 600, 600, 600. So they might be making their money from sponsorships or something for somebody who pays a fixed fee over here. And this one here, usually they get this information from GA4, from Google Analytics 4. I don't know why they don't show period to January, but this is supposed to be automatically pulled from the system. So it's probably okay. I don't know yet why they don't have numbers earlier than January. Actually, we know because it only exists for 5 months, but then on the first month, how they already have 22,000 page views.
Yeah,
right.
That seems like a lot.
And then seems that in March, everybody are buying real estate because it jumps so high. It's more than double than the previous ones. Okay.
So again,
Interesting.
here we have a little bit about the business.
CMS design. Yeah, go ahead, read out loud or whatever you're thinking.
Platform.
Was that?
It was the all-in-one platform that centralizes everything you need to succeed. So,
Okay. So Daniel is reading here. All-in-one platform centralize everything you need to succeed, from lead capture to client communication. and property marketing. So this is a SaaS, or they call it a CRM for real estate. Say goodbye to scattered spreadsheets and missed opportunities. Okay.
Okay. So again, just a bit about their website, a bit about what's going on, a bit about the potential for the,
Where are you
the
looking?
industry there.
For the industry. Does that make you want to look further on this or not?
I think it does. It's showing the market and how much potential there is for something like this. It would make me look further into this.
Okay. They're not talking here about specifically real estate CRMs. They're talking about generally CRMs. And there are many, 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 many types of CRMs. So something to keep in mind when you're reading things like this is what's the context. And here the context is very loose to what they're presenting here with the market size. Many times you see on listings things that will convince you to look further, and a lot of that is marketing fluff. And not to say that this should not encourage you to look further into this, but take that with a super grain of salt, really, of what they're saying here. Okay, fine. Basically that.
Sure. Is something like that a little bit of a red flag if they're kind of fluffing if they're marketing it a little bit, or they're kind of building it up a little more, or is that something that you see a lot? Oh.
Look at this. So they do talk about real estate CRM down below, but this makes this not interesting. It's just they had to fill up the listing with something. And even the CRM real estate CRMs, like, fine, but it almost seems like they're convincing somebody who doesn't know anything about real estate why he should buy something they don't know with the problems, because somebody who's from real estate, I don't know yet, but might look into that like one glimpse and say, this is garbage. We don't know yet.
We do not know. But so I think we can skip past this point and let's go to some of the financial stuff at the bottom. Traffic.
Solution, market opportunity, a lot of fluff here. A lot of fluff. Really.
Okay.
Business model. That starts to be interesting. Premium model and subscription unlock additional features, storage integration. We offer premium support plans for high-value agents and teams. Great. Target audience. Real estate agents and brokers. Focus on agents that have these problems. Relationships. Expensive CRMs. So that's not, let's say, chain of real estate agencies. These are individual real estate agencies, because if not, they'll have their own CRM.
Right.
Do you want to look at the marketing channel or skip ahead?
I think we can skip ahead.
Okay. These are all the comparisons. When you want me to stop?
So again, one thing of note is the hosting. The hosting is $5 a month.
Yeah, it's here.
So it being 100% profit is a little. Can you really say 100% if it's $5 a month? $5 is still $5. It's still posting it on a website. It's still something.
We should have said something. Okay. Page views and unique visits. What do you think
Here
about
it says,
Go ahead.
yeah, the engagement is very interesting. You would think they're running some sort of ad or something, but I'm not sure what referral means. That makes sense.
What referral means?
Yes.
So referral means that they are getting the traffic from another website. And this is how it's marked, categorized on GA4. It's very rare to see 90% of the website, of the traffic coming from there. I would say by this, that they might have another website that they're drawing the traffic from, sending it to this website, but then you need to ask them once the deal is done, how do I get that traffic? Maybe you need to keep paying the money to get that traffic. I don't know. That's a hidden cost there. So this is something to ask about.
in-
Very low organic. Yeah, go ahead.
In your experience, what's something you've seen more? I guess what channel, like how is the breakdown of channels you're more experienced with?
What's the standard
makes sense.
numbers you're asking?
Yes, sir.
Search at around 85 to 95% sometimes, and not referral that high. You might usually direct is the lowest. Well, it's hard to say if direct or referral are the lowest, but these are the other two. So that's a problem here, that you need to ask them how they get that traffic. You do see more and more website diversifying from organic search, because Google is basically killing a lot of small websites. So sometimes you'll see more social traffic coming into the website. I've seen some websites that have 50% of the traffic from organic social. Okay, you can see that. Not a lot, but I imagine we'd see more and more because of what's happening recently with Google search results. Hey everyone, I hope you enjoyed this video, and please like and subscribe, and let's move on to the rest of the listing review. What else on your mind?
I don't know. I would just wonder if it's optimized for different languages or how that works.
You're saying this because of countries, right?
Yes.
So we can go ahead and check the website before we continue. The link to that is over here at the top. Excuse me for all my open windows, but I don't want to switch to another window and then just more mess. Okay, Emailer Pro load. Because the hosting is a relatively low payment, we know it's a shared server. Okay, so it depends also the performance of the other websites on that server, which you don't know, it's a shared one. Okay, it's a CRM. There are no more languages than English, so that makes us think why Czech Republic is the first one. I've seen this one before, this image. That's an AI generated, of course.
It looks very AI generated. Yes.
They uploaded all their content in one day, or at least mark it as one day. I don't know why. If I would have been them, I would change those. And I would also not make this admin bus over here as the owner of the host. I'm pretty much sure, my bet is that these are not real. So ask the seller who these guys are. I might be wrong, but that's what it seems. I don't see any language drop down selector, right?
Right.
Not this. Let's go back to the listing here. And one more thing to note, the referral is 29,000 over here, but the page views is 5% of that for the highest. There's some gap here. So it's either evenly spread out between many countries, or something doesn't add up. You need to ask for their GA, the Google Analytics viewing credentials to verify everything here. Okay, some people asked questions here. CRM, so they're asking about the ownership. Is the CRM included or only the website? They're saying that the CRM is included. Okay, you are buying a CRM, but is this a white label or can you resell it? Does this belong to them? If they developed a CRM, that's a different story, but I find it hard to believe they'll sell a CRM for $3,000 plus a website. There is a P&L here somewhere. I saw that one there. P&L, or no P&L? View P&L. Thank you. That's not a P&L. That's not a P&L at all. Okay, I think we pretty much went through the most important things. What are your thoughts? We see a lot of, I think, red flags. Any good things that you see that you want to look into more?
I mean, for me, this is the type of thing that scares me from buying on Flippa. Is this listing? For $3,000, I really don't know what I'm getting. You know, there's a lot of red flags and a lot of things that scare me off from something like this because the numbers don't match up. They look too, the $600 a month looks too clean of a number. You'd figure,
What?
you know,
It's a
if
whole
you
number.
really have a host.
Okay.
There's just a lot of things that don't really add up, and that would scare me away from something like this. So I would not look into this any further, just because there's so many red flags, there's so many question marks that I still have from something like this.
Here's what I would do to verify a little bit more, because yes, you're right, there are a lot of red flags, but red flags sometimes also mean opportunities. So you're probably correct that this is not a good business to buy, but I would still look into where those 600 coming from, how many clients that is, they didn't say, and about their referral traffic. I think these are two of the key things here. If we go to the website and we're looking at, I don't see the pricing here, right? There is no pricing. You can start for free, which I'm not going to do now. Yeah, thank you. No. So we can calculate even how many clients are there over here, right?
All right.
So I would move forward with this one just if strategically this listing is helping me with something with another business of mine. Let's say I'm a real estate agent and I know a lot of other real estate agents, and I find that the CRM that they build really solves a problem for me and probably for others as well. I'd consider this, because then the referral traffic, though might be correct and might be nice, is a bonus to maybe the marketing that you can do to your fellow real estate agents. So you'll have some kind of an edge or advantage over others with this listing. For the normal person out there, which I'd say they're aiming for with what the language they used here, it's probably worthless. It's probably worthless. And even for that real estate agent, it's probably not going to be a buy, just in a very specific cases. There's still due diligence to be done and check who the seller is. After all, they are building online businesses, so you don't have to start from scratch. And they do have positive feedback. So maybe another way to mitigate this is speaking with their previous clients. And then, maybe they're legit, maybe it's fine, maybe they're building good stuff. You just need to find the gems. That happens too.
Okay. But you're saying for the average person, you'd probably stay away unless you had some sort of, let's say, guaranteed sales funnel. Is that correct?
If you already had the connections, the relationships with the real estate agents, let's say you had a list of people who are real estate agents, or you were a real estate agent, this would be much more valuable than somebody who's not from this industry. Let's say you have a company that does conferences for real estate agents. That's a good match. I'm still very concerned about the referral traffic, to be honest. I want to know what that is. What's the referral from what that? And without accessing the Google Analytics, which is very legit to ask, I would not buy a website. I have a video on this. I would not buy a website without getting access to this to verify what's the referral traffic and where that is. That's super important. Let's see anything interesting here. Any other part you want me to jump to?
No, not really. I think we've covered the major red flags. A lot of these listings, or some of the listings that I've seen, you can kind of look through a bit more, but a lot of it is kind of fluff when it comes down to the end of the day. I'm looking for hard numbers, because hard numbers kind of don't lie to me.
Hard numbers, you mean not round numbers, something that reflects real.
Yeah, not round numbers, not.
Listen, for a SaaS, let's say that this one sells for $50 a month. This could be 12 clients paying $50 each. I don't know. Okay? and then you dive into with the seller asking, okay, who those people are, let me talk to them first, see how happy they are with the software. Maybe that's a way to move forward with this one. And then if you're making 600 over a 3,000 investment, that's not a bad deal at all. Okay? One more thing, I want to show you something that looks like a red flag, but it's not a red flag. And this is the engagement statistics. You see the average engagement duration for 3 hours, 6 minutes and 9 seconds, and the engagement rate of 1%. So this is a very common number to see on Flippa for engagement statistics. And the reason for these is not because these are scam, but because the seller made a mistake in setting up the Google Analytics on their website. So many times you see this engagement duration, this 3 hours, 46 minutes. And you don't see 1% engagement rate. Usually you see 0 point something engagement rate. It also doesn't make sense. Okay? So these two numbers does not reflect a red flag. It just, something is wrong with setup, which is fixable over there. That's the thing.
That's good to know.
Okay. Services and subscriptions. No, we don't have anything here. Yes, I'm listening.
I guess my question would be with Google Analytics, is that measuring how much, because this is a CRM, would that Google Analytics track some of the usage of the CRM and that's why it's so long, or is that just a mistake?
You're asking if Google would be able to track the use of the CRM, this is why it's so long? Yes, but because specifically you see that number many times, I know that this is because of not setting up correctly. It could be, but I wouldn't imagine 3 hours. It's also, it's too much. You know what, maybe if somebody has it open the whole day, but really, I don't know too many examples of this. But 3 hours, 46 minutes, that's a bad setup. That's for sure. This is what it means. Yeah, and also asking for P&L here, no P&L. Yeah, there is work to do here, or due diligence. You see people buying SaaS, broken SaaS, and building it up to be a very nice business. Really, it can happen. So broken or bad sometimes means opportunity and something you can build up from. I mean, if that makes sense.
That makes sense. I think for me, the big issue would be from identifying broken or a spot or a website that is not optimized or something like that. How to identify something that is a scam versus something that is right now broken is what you're saying. I think that's the tough part, where you may be getting a deal because it's a little rough. Maybe they haven't done a lot of advertising, or they're not bringing in a lot of people, versus just utter and complete, junk or made up numbers or something that's not really kind of complete, or, how to identify the diamond in the rough that's covered under a lot of dirt versus, there's that shiny thing in the ground that's not a diamond and it just should stay on the ground, kind of thing.
So here's what you do if you're thinking it's a diamond in the rough. You're getting in touch with the seller right away to take down the listing. The sooner the better, because this is how you'd get a better price if you think it's a real diamond. However, you need to understand before, as much as possible, how your current skill set or something that you can implement pretty easily to fix that. Okay, because you need to prove for yourself, is this really a diamond in the rough? Okay, and it could be that for somebody, again, he has a conference for real estate agents. Okay, that will be, oh, I need that. Okay, I can market that to all those people, and I can get, instead of 10 clients, I can get 500 clients easily within a month, just because I'm sending this offer to my mailing list and then giving them, a free trial or whatever. So for them, that would be valuable. So it's a match between what you're seeing on the listing and evaluating first and your skill set, putting those together and growing and buying that. Starting negotiation process, basically. This is exactly how I bought one of my websites. It's a quotes website. It's a PHP. I'm an engineer, but I'm a bad developer. It's a raw PHP website, but I still saw a huge potential on that one. I still see, okay? There were a few bumps on the way because, again, we're looking for a developer there because the owner left, but it doesn't mean it's not a good deal. And it was roughly around that $3,000 to buy, and I estimate that to be at least a few dozens, thousands of dollars, 100,000 once you do it right. So there is a lot of potential. There's 250,000 quotes there, people who coin their own quotes. So that's, I think, was a good example of diamond in the rough. But you really need to look at hundreds of listings until you find these. You really need to look through a lot. And the more that you train your mind in looking at those listings, you understand quicker if they're good, if not good, what exactly people are selling. And what we spoke just before we started the conversation about the Be a Better Buyer Challenge, it's exactly this. Start training yourself, your mind, to quickly evaluate deals. That's what it's about.
Thank you. That's some good information. And it's just good information for everything else, finding that intersection of an opportunity and something that you actually know a little bit about, where you can kind of correct the opportunity or advance that opportunity.
Maybe you should have started the conversation with, I'm moving a little bit away from the sun. Maybe you should start the conversation with, what is your skill set, or thinking for yourself, and what's your experience? And through that, start looking for your next digital asset. I think that's an easier way to go. Better way to go.
Yeah, browsing it and looking and trying to find something to start up. It's finding what is in your wheelhouse. What do you feel comfortable adjusting? Yeah.
Exactly. Okay, Daniel, thank you very much. I hope this is helpful for you. Thank you for joining. For me, it was interesting to get someone at least from zero to a little bit further in their journey for buying a digital asset. So thank you for that.
So if you remember earlier in the video, I told you that I'm going to share one tip for you to help you with the Flippa negotiation and finding a red flag. So have a look at this listing. This one is itbriefcase.net. I'm not going to go through the whole listing, but you can see something very interesting here. When you're looking at the revenue graph of this listing, you see that there are round numbers over here, not this one and not this one, but this one is example 40,000, and then again here at 6,000 and 4,000 somewhere. Yes, over here 6,000 again. These indicate usually on low number of clients running, right? Clients, which is risky for the business. So when you're spotting these kind of things, you need to specifically ask the seller about those. I don't like seeing these kind of round numbers. I like seeing random numbers like this. Okay, so they had it here at the beginning, but then somehow they became round. What exactly happened here? And you can see that throughout many listings. Usually those kind that are monetizing through sponsorships. So check out where this revenue is coming from and how many clients are on this business. And you can know that only by looking at this graph and asking the seller the right questions. Now, next, what you can do is go and look for a listing of your liking, a listing assessment just like this one. And on the description below, there is a link to a whole library of videos that I made. No registration needed. It's completely free. All you need to do is go there. You can filter and search and find the listing of your liking and something that will help you jump forward to buy your next digital asset. I'll see you next time. Cheers.